Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Frog Friday indeed. On the wrist today, guys, we have the D Series 35th anniversary Gold Tornado Frogman. As you know, I love my frogs, and today is Frog Friday, so whenever we're wearing a frog, it doesn't matter what day it is. As long as it's a Friday, you definitely have to be wearing a frog. Well, that's my philosophy anyway. Onwards though, guys. So today I have no new watches, but it's been a bit of a while right now. The last few weeks, it's been very taxing. I just wanted to put out a vid to let you know that Mike's still here, still doing well, the family's still doing well, and you know, I'm going to try and put out content as much as I can. Those of you who subscribe to my channel know that I've sold a couple of watches, quite a few heavy hitters, a few big watches, and you know, the reasoning was because I needed to keep the channel fluid. Well, I do have a couple coming in. I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are because I want to keep the suspense there, and it'll be a nice surprise. But I did want to share some things with you. Today I want to go through really my top picks of my collection. So watches that you've seen before, but reasons why they're my top picks and reasons why they're still here with me. And also wanted to just have a general chat with you, or you know, because that's the thing we do. Case in point, now, yes, I'm wearing my frog, but look at that time, guys. 7:27 on Friday morning. Normally I'll be doing my videos on around lunchtime-ish. But, you know, with this COVID-19 and having to work from home, that's fine. I work from home anyway. But my wife is now working from home. Both of my teenage children are studying from home. It makes it very difficult to do a video in a space which is shared amongst everybody, right? And I don't think it's fair that I should further quarantine them whilst they're in quarantine, and you know, send them to their rooms or in a corner of the house where they won't disturb me on my videos. Usually I have the whole place to myself, and my studio is predominantly set up in the kitchen. So this is why I'm doing it now at 7:28 in the morning before I start my daily job, and before the kids wake up and before my wife gets up and starts her job. So it's one of those things, right? We've all got to move and morph into this new way of life, and I think it's going to be here for a little longer than we expect, unfortunately, but that's just my opinion, and I think that we should do the best that we can in order to not just survive, guys. Don't just survive, live, right? It's not just about survival, it's about living. We're human beings and we can do more than survive, so let's just try and live through this. Yes, we have to hunker down, but let's not cut everything off. Life still goes on, and if you don't believe that, you know, this week we had a death in our family, COVID-19 related. Life still goes on, guys. You know, it doesn't stop because COVID-19 is here. But anyway, enough of the COVID talk right now. I want to show you a couple of my top picks in my collection, in no specific order, and not necessarily all the best ones, but just ones that I was able to grab whilst everybody was asleep. So first and foremost, my GA100. Now, this watch was the first of a group of 6 that I have now, and the size of this watch is awesome. I'm going to give you a wristy of all the watches that I'm going to pick out, guys. So let me say goodbye to the Frogman just for now. It's going back on when I get back into my work mode, and I'm going to put these on and show you and share them with you. So GA100, love the size, love the weight, weighs hardly anything, love the versatility, everything about it, and hence I have 6 of them. Really inexpensive piece now. You can be got for under $100, and really good for people who are in emergency services and that kind of thing. It's just one of those watches. It does exactly what it needs to do for someone who is in a position to not need anything fancy. You just need something robust and hardcore. So GA100, that's my first pick, one of my first top picks in my collection. So I'll just set that right down over there. Next I'm gonna say is my Protrek. This is the Black Titan Protrek, all titanium casing with some resin, a titanium bracelet. I've had this for going on 8-9 years now, and if we got the however minute warning you would get to evacuate wherever, this would be the one I would grab. It's just versatile. It does everything you need it to do, and you wouldn't have to worry about anything to do with this watch. You could just put it on. It's one of those fit and forget watches. So that's a keeper in my collection and one of my very top picks in my collection, and I have some nice ones, so it means a lot to me, obviously, to be in my collection. I'll try and keep that there like that. Next I have to say is this Protrek. This is the PRW 7000 FC, and it's just a beautiful version of the Black Titan. This one's the Men in Black, and it's a JDM version, JDM model, and it's got that composite resin bracelet. Lovely big display, wears really big. In fact, you know what, I didn't give you a shot. Let me give you a shot of this one on the Black Titan on the wrist before I go over to the Men in Black. Black Titan on the wrist. There you go, Black Titan on the wrist. You know, I do like a big watch. I have big paws. My wrist is 7 3/4, coming down to about 7.5 now, and yeah, I do like a big dial, big face. Doesn't have to be really heavy. I don't mind a heavy watch, but these titanium watches are really light, and I don't mind that either. So that had to be a keeper in the collection. Protrek Black Titan, Protrek Men in Black, another bigger watch. Like, you know, this guy is super light as well, versatile, and I have to say, if I'm looking to grab a watch during the day and I don't know what to wear, it will be one of two, and this is one of them. I've found that I've worn this watch, maybe it would get worn a few times a week, depending on if I do a evening swap as well. I may come home and take off a nicer watch and that I've had at the office when I've had to go out to the office, and put this on to relax in. So this gets a lot of wrist time, guys. It's just so versatile. Another one of those watches that I'll probably grab that one as well as the Black Titan, because they're both equally as good in terms of functionality. And maybe I'd have my son wear this one whilst we run to the shelter, or head to the shelter. Let's add a bit of colour, because it is Frog Friday. This frog, the burning red frog, superb watch. This frog was the first frog I bought, and it was a time when I was just getting back into G-Shocks, just getting into collecting, and I saw the price of what they wanted for this frog back then, and I almost spat my coffee out. It was ridiculous. I thought back then $650 for a resin watch. I said, no, that's ridiculous. Who's going to pay that for a resin watch? I just couldn't get it out of my head. It was one of those things. It was bright red. It was just the shape, the eccentrical shape, just the color and everything about it. Just all parts came to one for me. All equal parts came to one for me, and I loved it. Couldn't get it out of my head. Couldn't understand why they were wanting so much money for it, and realized that the only way to get over the feeling was to buy it. And I bought it back then, a good few years ago, This is not actually the original one that I bought. This, I actually sold my first one, needed the money basically, and I was never going to buy again, and this is probably one of the reasons why I have a no buyback rule. I realized I wasn't going to get this again because they had gone up so much. They went from 650 to well over the 1,000 mark, and I think now, well, they went up to a point where they were over 2,000. When I got this, it was just under the 1,000 mark, up to the $900 mark, and I said, right, I'm going to get this, and I will never resell. I will never sell a watch to rebuy again because it's too expensive, guys. You know, I thought it was expensive at 650, and then I had to go and rebuy it at 900 or 950, 980. I think I paid for this one, and I was not happy about that, but nonetheless, I do love my frogs, and this one is definitely one of my collection highs. Definitely a keeper in the collection. Let's see if we can prop him up. Just, you know what? Let's see what we can do in here like that. And get the stand out of the way. Okay. Next, we have some heavy hitters, and because I've shown you the Protrek as one of my quick grab and goes if I don't know what I want to wear, here is the other one in that same category. MTG S1000. This watch, it's very deceiving. It's a big watch, make no mistake about it. It's a very big watch, but when you get it on the wrist, I want to say this one almost morphs into something even bigger. It always surprises me. Surprises my wife as well. She always says, oh, you're wearing the one that I like. And, you know, I understand exactly what she means. It jumps out at you. And as I said before, I've tried to sell this a couple of times and it's never, well, it's made it to my mind. And that's as far as it's ever got. I never actually get to put it up for sale. It's just means too much to me. And it's such a great piece, and it does everything you want. This is another watch you could actually grab in an emergency, and you wouldn't lose out. But I wouldn't be grabbing this one. It's the Protrek's much better pick for me for that reason. But look at that, guys. It's a chunk of a watch, lovely composite resin on the inside and stainless steel on the outside bracelet. Makes for a really, really comfortable fit. And the main reason for this one staying is because every time I think of selling it, that's as far as it gets, just a thought. So that tells me that I really need to keep it because it means more to me than what it would cost or what it would give me in terms of money if I sold it. Okay, we're coming down now, guys. Staying on theme. Oh, no, I picked up the wrong one. Staying on theme. This MTG here, Magma Ocean MTG, 35th anniversary. I wanted this one so badly. You guys will understand what I mean when I say I wanted this one to the point where I wasn't able to reach for it, and I decided, okay, I'm not gonna even worry about it anymore because I can't reach for it. I put it out of my mind. I saw a couple more videos after I put it out of my mind, and it immediately came back into my need category. So this one here, I've got to admit, I lightly wear it. I know the bracelet coating is light, and I do not want to damage the bracelet coating. I do wear it, but I don't wear it often. It's a very lovely MTG, and one of my collection highlights, I would say. It has a top spot in the collection on an MTG stand, and it looks lovely, does everything I need it to do. It's packed full of tech and definitely a collection high. So that's a keeper, and gains one of the highest spots in my collection to date. Let's put that there off of its bracelet. Okay, coming down, guys, a couple more. Yes, the Zimby Sumo. Currently the only Sumo I have in the collection. Currently the only Seiko I have in the collection. This piece is, I'm gonna say fantastic, phenomenal. But you know what, guys, this piece was a big birthday piece for me. I'm gonna say it, I've got no secrets, I'm proud of it. I turned 50 in 2018, and this piece was my 50th birthday piece to myself. Try and buy a watch for every birthday, and when this came out and I had the funds, I just had to get it, and I got it ahead of my birthday, and my wife wrapped it up for me and presented it to me on my birthday. So this one in the collection will be the one Seiko that doesn't get sold, and it has the top shelf in my cabinet, up in lights, on its display stand in all its glory. Zimbi Sumo, aka Thanos. Let's give you a wristy because this is beautiful. You guys know, you've seen it before. It's a love-hate one. It's like the Beetle or Marmite. You either love it or you hate it, and I love it. That dial is superb. Definitely a collection high. So we've come down to the last piece now, guys. The last piece in my top picks of my collection. I'm going to put him right at the front there. The last piece of the top picks in my collection is the MRG G1000D, full titanium, full of tech, just full, guys. I love this piece. I know you guys, I can hear you guys saying, Michael, you had this for sale. Yep, I did. Momentary madness. I'm so glad that it didn't get hooked up. I've had offers for it since withdrawing it. Nope. I'll just say this, I don't need the money. I don't need to move this on to make room for anything else. In fact, with all the MRGs that are coming out, I would want to add an MRG to the MRG collection here, because this is one watch that is absolutely fantastic. Little scratch there, not really a problem for me because it's not going anywhere. This titanium is very susceptible to scratches, and this watch does get worn lightly, but it does get worn. I can afford to wear them lightly. As I said before, guys, I have a couple of watches in my collection, as you know, but the MRG, beautiful top shelf piece, and that has the top spot with the MTGs in on the same shelf, but this sits elevated above them because this piece is the absolute daddy. And I would love to add a new MRG to this collection. Incidentally, not the Bruce Lee. Some of you who know me know that I'm quite passionate about the way G-Shock, Casio messed that one up. In my own opinion, guys, in my honest opinion, they messed up the Bruce Lee. I'm gonna go online and say what they should have done was included a titanium bracelet in the display package with a yellow silicone resin band, and that yellow band should have had a black stripe down the side to signify Bruce Lee's yellow and black jumpsuit that he wore in, I think it was Game of Death. Don't quote me, I didn't write anything down, but anyway, in one of his movies he wore a yellow and black jumpsuit, and just having a black resin band, to me, guys, they missed out. The emblems that they have on around the bezel, embedded in the bezel, engraved in the bezel, they should have had that on the titanium band like they have on the Gassin MRG, and then on the bezel what they should have had was that dragon. I don't know if any of you have seen that new MRG G2000. It's got the hammer style bezel with the engraving of the dragon on one side and then just random engraving on this side, and it's all in blue, so the actual watch itself is in this sort of like copper tone brownish you know, muted tone with this blue. It's fantastic. I would definitely buy that. That's what they should have done for the Bruce Lee. They missed the boat on the Bruce Lee, and I think that personally, I think they're gonna struggle to move the Bruce Lees, especially at MRG price points. You have to understand, MRG are at the same price point as other higher end boutique watches, and really, you're buying a G-Shock. You have to really love G-Shock to buy an MRG. You have to be someone who is passionate about G-Shocks, as am I. Right? There are so many other watches that you can buy in this price point that are not G-Shock labeled. To my mind, if you bought an MRG, it's because you really love the G-Shock brand, and I do, so I did, and I would buy another, most definitely. So guys, there it is, my top picks for this Friday, this Frog Friday. I'm gonna put Froggy back on because, you know, I don't want you guys to think that I just did it for the video. He's staying with me today. Happy Frog Friday. Yeah. The Gold Tornado D-Series Frog staying with me. Now, I've run on. It's been a long vid. I'm sorry about that, guys. I wasn't able to put one out yesterday because, well, logistics of me sharing my office space and the house with everybody else right now. But I will say that I have more coming, guys. Stay tuned. Tell your friends. I have more coming. I have a couple of pieces that are on their way for next week. I have my eye on a couple of other pieces, and you know, it will be very interesting. As you can see, my collection is quite diverse. I don't go in one direction. I get what I like, which I think is what you should do, whether it's trending or not. If you like it, get that. Don't get what's trending. Don't follow the crowd like everyone else seems to be doing right now with regards to, dare I say, toilet paper and not staying inside. Guys, stay inside. Stay inside. We want to beat this thing, and the one thing that's going to help is if we stay inside and don't spread this silly virus, right? And I'm going back onto the virus again, and I don't want to do that because it's all over the place on the media. But stay inside, guys. Go outside for essentials and get back in. Wash your hands, wash your clothes, and be safe. Enough of my rant. I'm going to give you a loom shot because not all will loom, but there is loom on this table. One sec. And I'm going to come in with the Frogman. There you go. One more for the Frogman. Okay, guys. I have to get ready for work. So, in true form, guys, wear all of your timepieces in the very best of health. Please keep safe. Wash your hands. Stay close to your loved ones. And until next time, take care.